Hey y'all, a7Riv guy here, and it's 2020 now, and I wanted to follow up in regards to the Sony A7R IV, or often referred to as the ILCR M4, I think. They put all these little funny words on there, the A7R Mark IV. However you want to say it, this camera is linked within this video's description, and so is a 24 to 70 millimeter lens that I'm using. And of course the microphone. And I'm in front of a waterfall, and I love this microphone because you can probably still hear the water, but it's probably sounds really good. I am shooting this at f2.8, so I'm shooting this video wide open. And it's just it's been an incredible camera. And you know, it's easy to go online, it's easy to go to the popular camera review sites and the popular camera YouTube channels, camera review YouTube channels, but the A7R IV for me has just been a natural progression. Again, I started with, actually I didn't even start with the Sony Alpha cameras. I started with the Sony point and shoot, like the RX100, the RX10, and then I got one of the APS-C cameras, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna step it up. Got the A7R II, the A7 III, the A7R III, and now the A7R IV that I'm filming this with. It's been a real treat. The best thing about the A7R IV that I found is the improved battery life, but not just the improved battery life, but the autofocus for video. This camera, despite having 62 megapixels for incredible still photos, this camera has eye tracking for video. So you've probably noticed that even though I'm filming this video in autofocus, you probably haven't noticed focus breathing, any of that wonkiness that one may be accustomed to with older model cameras in autofocus mode. So the ability for this camera to autofocus so well has been instrumental for the continued success of my YouTube channel, youtube.com/a7Riv guy. Because there's a lot of times like now where I don't have my film crew and I need to use autofocus. I mean, sure, I'm standing stationary, I could put something up, I could measure the distance or whatever and kick into manual and nail focus. But if I wanted to start to walk around and that sort of thing, and autofocus is just quicker. You know, I don't have to come out here and optimally manual focus before I shoot. So I can depend upon this camera. I can depend upon the A7R IV when I'm filming videos such as this one in autofocus. I can feel confident that the video I'm capturing right now and also the audio is going to be exceptionally excellent when I edit and then post it to my YouTube channel. So it's been a great tool. The other things about this camera, the one thing that I dislike, and hopefully Sony will address this within an upcoming camera, for this particular video, I pulled my smartphone out and I used the viewfinder app so that I could confirm that I'm somewhat optimally aligned within the camera's frame. This camera, A7R IV, at least this current model, does not have a flip up and face forward viewfinder on the back. So it's on the back, you can tilt it, you can't tilt it out and you can't tilt it up. That is such an oversight on Sony's behalf because some of their APS-C cameras now have the flip up option. So if I was looking like I am right now at the camera's lens, I could look right above it and I'd be able to see the viewfinder, but I can't with the A7R IV. That's currently not a feature. So hopefully with the next version of the Sony Alpha full frame camera, whether it's the A7S III or the A7R IV, or there's the A7 IV or the A7R V, hopefully going forward, Sony will put us a face forward LCD, whether it pops out to the side or whether it flips up to the top, I don't care, just so I can confirm my alignment when I'm shooting without a film crew. That would be a huge addition to it. But back to the A7R IV, the photo quality, the image quality of this is outstanding. Pair it with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens like I'm using, you can get some outstanding image quality for video and photos. The 62 megapixel for photos, especially if you're doing landscape photography and you want to punch in and post on a small section of that photo. Maybe it's a beach landscape and there's a small boat or something. You could punch in on that and see it. There's so many things that one can do with this camera by having 62 megapixels. So that was a huge selling point for me. But again, the major things are that this has autofocus as good or better, in my opinion. Well, actually it's better than the A7 III, which the A7 III is a really good camera, but it doesn't have 62 megapixel. So with this, I'm getting everything I get with the A7 III, plus that 62 megapixel and a better autofocus system. I'm still getting these awesome batteries. The battery life on this is phenomenal. Typical day I can get by shooting all day on 2 batteries, but I've got 3 batteries just in case I need a third. Being able to recharge via USB is instrumental. I can recharge in the field with a USB battery bank. If I'm not near a power outlet, I can use a solar USB battery bank for continuously renewable recharging capability for the camera, which is awesome. The build quality I find to be fine. Some people say the body feels kind of cheap. I don't think it does. It's perfectly fine for me. I mean, it's the knobs on the top lock, so when you put your camera in your pack, like I do, I always wear a backpack. It's less susceptible to knock. I mean, how many times have you been out with an older model Sony camera, going out and shooting video, and then you discover, oh crap, you know, this knob turned and it's ruined the video or whatever, or it's kicked from video mode to S&Q slow motion mode and inadvertently. So the fact that both of those knobs lock now is a minor but huge improvement. You know, it's a great camera, and I love how I can continue to use my high-end FE mount lenses with this camera. So I don't have any complaints about the A7R IV other than Sony, get with the program, man. Get that viewfinder on the back to pop up and be visible from the front, or pop out to the side and be visible from the front. Because to be frank, I love your cameras, but your app used to be called Play Memories. I think it's called Imaging Edge Mobile now. It is awful. And when it works, it's acceptable. But like today, for example, I stepped out from behind the camera. I had the app paired. I'm only 3 feet in front of the camera. I'm out in the wilderness. There's no wireless interference. And I'm standing here with your app, and I'm looking at the app, and it takes about 5 or 10 seconds for me to become visible in the app so I can confirm I'm properly aligned within the camera's field of view. So get that LCD and make it face forward. I'm sick of waiting. I love your cameras, but man, your app is terrible. I'm sick of it. So yeah, bring us a flip forward LCD option for the camera for face-on video segments such as this, and I'll be happier. And I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying, I'm speaking the truth, Sony. Your app is horrible, and you need to have that flip forward LCD. So anyway, I think I proved my point there. Tell me what you think. Have you used the A7R IV? Comment below and tell me what you think. Tell the world what you think. And if you're looking for the A7R IV, the lens like I'm using, the tripod, the microphone, expand this video's description and then click the link there and you can find it all there. And be sure to check out my photography and videography tutorials too. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.